ladies and gentlemen, your host for this evening, Tanya Hadzhieva.
Welcome to the 6th episode of the Wake Up Call Show with me, Tanya Hadzhieva, where we have our special guest tonight, Skylar Green. She is a Reiki master and teacher. She also does NLP and is a clinical hypnotherapist. Hello! Thank you very much for coming here and to be my guest tonight. It's my pleasure to have you here, as I know you have a great inspirational story to share with everyone that's watching right now. So, Skylar, the first question I always ask at the wake-up call is, what was your wake-up call? What's your inspirational story?
Okay, so I shall begin with my childhood and my teenage years. I went through a lot of emotional trauma.
Yeah.
I started at the very early age smoking cigarettes, taking all sorts of drugs. When I was 14, I've attempted to kill myself twice. I was then self-harming, and following all these events, I found myself in a very toxic karmic relationship which had broken my heart into pieces, and I was looking to help myself. Obviously, when you go to a doctor, they will give you a medication, but they won't necessarily treat you emotionally. They won't cure your emotional problems and heal your broken heart. So
that is true.
After my very karmic relationship, I was very low emotionally, and I had to do something. It was the wake-up call. It was enough is enough. You have to do something with your life. And that's when I found out about hypnotherapy. So I became a therapist. Then I found out about neuro-linguistic programming and Reiki healing. So all these techniques were very, very good. However, Reiki healing did something profound, because the more I was healing myself, the more the broken pieces started to connect again.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. It's very difficult to actually describe it with words, because it's something you have to experience. But essentially, the more I was healing my chakras, my heart, I became more content with life. I found my life purpose. I've stopped intoxication. I don't drink, I don't smoke. And I just became happy, just a completely different human, because I opened myself to the higher energy, to the infinite universal love.
So once you shift your energy, as you were just describing, so from lower frequency to higher frequency, you start to attract other people.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
This is exactly what happened. Different people, manifestation.
Yeah, manifestation.
Reiki actually, because it can clear your blockages. So where you have either a subconscious blockage or a blockage in your energy, with Reiki healing you can dissolve them. And it's amazing. It's amazing how my life shifted from very low. I was at the rock bottom, wanted to kill myself, to up where I am now. I've manifested my job. I've got a really good job. I've got my life purpose. I've got the relationship I wanted. So everything started manifesting the minute I started using Reiki. And I just want to say that we all have that power. We can all
it's not
learn.
just selected people.
No, everybody can learn how to do Reiki, how to channel this energy.
What can you give to our audience? So let's say that there are people out there suffering with anxiety, depression, or they're very low on energy, or they don't know where to, start, with their life. If they're like a mess, what would you recommend to start doing?
Okay, well, so the first thing, of course, everybody can become a Reiki practitioner. So I'm doing courses. So the next one will be in January. But I do teach people how they can become Reiki healers and how they can become the channels and heal themselves, which is very, very powerful. Then another thing I would recommend, and this is straight from my heart, gratitude.
Yes.
I always recommend this, because what will happen when you start being grateful, but genuinely grateful, you will start focusing on the positive rather than negative. And it's so true. So what I recommend is write down every day on a piece of paper 3 things that you are grateful for, and make this your habit.
Because then the more positive things you project onto
Exactly.
the world you receive.
Exactly. Another thing, visualization
Yes, you
with
mentioned.
emotion, because visualization is so powerful. Our subconscious mind doesn't recognize what is reality and what is imagination. So definitely visualization. I would then recommend chanting. I don't know if any of you heard of chanting Om, for example.
Yes, I do.
I do. It's
chanting.
very powerful. Very powerful sound vibration. And there was actually an experiment done with NASA. NASA measured the sound of the sun, and the sound of the sun, it's equivalent to the sound Om. So it's actually scientifically proven, and you can't argue with science, can you?
No. A lot of people out there will be like, oh, it's just a fluff talk, but
It's not.
it's not.
It's not. It cleanses your chakras. It heals you. It's amazing. So what else? Definitely good dose of exercise, because we want to move this energy. The worst thing you can do when you feel depressed or anxious is to sit down and do nothing.
Yeah.
This is the
that's
worst
true.
thing
You
you
get
can
even
do.
more depressed.
Exactly, because the energy is stagnant. You have to move. So there's a really good tip actually I can present. When you feel anxious, sometimes that can mean you have imbalance in your hemispheres. As you might be aware, your left hand is responsible for
To
your
the
right
other side
hemisphere,
of the
and the
hemisphere,
other way around.
Yeah.
So when you're in your office, for example, or when you're somewhere in the
Okay,
airport
are
and
we
you
doing
feel
an
stressed,
exercise?
all you do, you just put your hands on your lap and you just move it. And you can do this, let's say 21 times or 22 times. And what will happen, it will balance the right and left hemisphere, because the right hand is responsible for left hemisphere and the other way around. What you can do with children, for example, which is very fun and interactive, you can do A, B, C, D. So you can put your hand up, then another hand up, into the rhythm of alphabet. Children love that. So it's a very good habit break as well.
And it's very
So-
interactive, you know?
It is.
It makes you not think.
Yes, and you can stretch as well, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Wow. It's actually really
when,
cool.
when are you doing, you mentioned in January, for the audience, maybe somebody's going to be interested to come to your courses, and
Yes.
where is that happening?
So this is a Reiki level 1 workshop. It's fully certified, and it will be in London Covent Garden on 11th of January 2020, beginning 9:45 until
Okay.
4:45. And we will be learning a really cool thing. So how to see your aura. We are all surrounded by energy field, but we can't really see it. But I've got a great exercise, and I can show people how they can actually see their energy field. And I will be doing the attunement. I will be teaching people how to ground their energy, how to remove negative energy, how to protect your energy, a love healing exercise. So there will be a lot going on. I can't really say everything because I will spoil it.
Yeah.
But essentially, it's fully certified. The attunement will take place.
So the last but not least, I would like to ask you to share with me and the audience either a funny story of your life or like an inspirational quote you want to leave the audience with. Food
Well,
for thought.
I love the quotes. I'm
Okay.
a big fan of quotes.
Okay, leave us with something then.
So I remember when I was going through a very difficult time, it came to my mind Mr. Churchill, who said, I believe, if you're walking through hell, don't stop.
Wow.
Because there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. So if you are going through difficulties, don't stop, never give up. That's my motto, never give up, just keep going. And once you start keep going and you continue to keep going, you will eventually see the light.
Wow, that is very powerful. Thank you very much for being my
Thank
guest
you.
here tonight and sharing your inspirational story. I'm sure that you've touched the hearts of many out there who are probably struggling like you have, and they have some inspiration now. I'll also leave you with a quote, which is actually my motto. Always strive for the moon, even if you don't reach there, you're always going to be surrounded by the stars.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for tuning in. See us next Tuesday from 7 p.m. where I'm going to be sharing more inspirational stories.